Hello, SUPERFOXXs. Kirsty Styles here, reporting for you from my lovely Dalston flat here in London. So this week I wanted to talk to you about Twitter. Twitter is one of the most widely used social networks in the world. They've got 500 million registered users. That's compared to the billion already reached by Facebook. That's 1 in every 6 people in the world. So Twitter is an incredibly important tool for me as a journalist. It's a great way to research stories, a great way to keep up with all of the daily news, and a really good way to follow people who are important to me. But it's also become an incredibly powerful tool for political organisers. So it was heavily used during the Arab Spring to help people communicate and organise, and it's used by campaign groups all over the world now to communicate with their supporters and talk about their message. Campaign groups like No More Page 3, Everyday Sexism, and Hackney Renters, which is campaigning right here in Hackney to improve the rights of young renters like me. But what happens when Twitter goes wrong? So this week there's been an incredible storm around the abuse that's being faced by female commentators, female people in the spotlight here in the UK, who are being abused by trolls, as they're called, anonymous online abusers who give them bomb threats and rape threats. And today, if you went on Twitter, you'd notice that there's a notable silence, as a lot of those women and the men who support them as well have down tools for the day and aren't using Twitter in protest at the slow response by the social network to all these kinds of abuse. So this week I met with one of my friends, a male journalist, and he put forward some interesting points. He said that all this women stuff, isn't it getting a bit boring now? And I guess the one thing I would say to that is that you guys have had quite a long time hogging the limelight, and there is a lot of female organising going on at the moment, and some of it's been very successful, keeping women on UK banknotes. Jane Austen's now going to be on the £10 note. And Lose the Lads mags have now got the co-op to agree to put lads mags in a modesty type bag, so that the kind of young children and other people who don't want to see that kind of thing do not have to see it when they're shopping in store. But what I did agree with him on was that obviously it's not just women who are abused online, and it's not just men who, and it's not all men who abuse people online. And he left me with an interesting question: how, as a female or a feminist organizer, do you not alienate kind of the silent and majority men who didn't choose to be born men, and who would largely support what you're trying to do? And that's a question that I still don't know the answer to. So another Twitter fail this week has been from the Home Office. The people who look after immigration policy, drugs, crime, counter-terrorism have this week taken to Twitter to live tweet some raids that they've been doing to hunt down illegal immigrants here in the UK, and under the hashtag immigration offenders. Nice. And this comes just after a week where they sent a van out with a big A board on it that said "Go home" to illegal immigrants. Yeah, it sounds like something that the BNP might have put forward as an idea. And the Home Office have also been seen approaching people at train stations here in London, including Walthamstow, which is just near me, and almost racially profiling people, picking out people based on the colour of their skin as people who are more likely to be illegal immigrants. So I didn't know how big the illegal immigrant problem is, and it seems to have flared up with the Home Office for no particular reason. So I had a little look into it, and the LSE estimated the high estimate that there were 893,000 illegal immigrants here in the UK, low estimate of 400,000. And what the Home Office is also dealing with is a backlog of 500,000 cases that are already in motion. A lot of people having to live in immigration centres until those cases are heard. And MPs had a little look at how long they thought that would take to clear that backlog, and that was 37 years. And after 14 years, an immigrant can get legal status to live here in the UK. Some people have suggested that we should have an amnesty where people can put up their hands and say, yes, I'm an illegal immigrant, but I contribute and I want to stay. Perhaps easier than processing and sending back all of the various people to all of the the various places that they've come from, places like India and Bangladesh are up there with the highest numbers of immigrants. So from immigration to gentrification, I said I'm here in my lovely London flat, but I'm actually from the northwest of England, and a friend of mine from Tottenham was tweeting about gentrification in her area, which is where middle class people come and change the nature of it, and increase the house prices, and that means that people who are from that area can't afford to live there. And I asked her if living in my country's capital, how long I would have to live here before I was considered all right to stay. And she said at least 20 years, which is obviously an incredibly long time, and not as long as the 14 years that an immigrant would be able to live in the UK before they could be counted as being from here. So there are interesting things going on here in London, and of course always interesting things going on Twitter. I can thoroughly recommend that you check it out if you haven't already. I'm at Kirsty Styles 1. Nice to see you.